What is going on, my baboon brothers, my simian sisters? Well-groomed Deejus here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay analysis. Today, we got ourselves a wild game from the Users Submitted series. That's right, the series where you guys submit your games to me. We go over them, we learn from them, we have a good old laugh tee-hee, and we have a grand old time. So, don't forget, you too can get your games reviewed. Just submit them to Deejusproductions at gmo.com if it meets the following criteria in the more info section. Remember, it doesn't have to be your own game. If someone's doing some weird stuff, I want to know about it. Doesn't matter if you played in the game or not. Don't forget, though, no high funds games. Got to be standard or fog. Anyway, without further ado, we're looking at this game right here on the map Over the Hedge. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a Disney movie. I think I might have seen it in theaters when I was a kid. Actually, don't correct me if I'm wrong. Sit there and obey obediently. But anyway, it's an interesting map. It's a very large map. It's a high-income large map with 4 comm towers. So 23K per side. Actually, 4 airports. You got 1 airport over here and 1 airport in the back. For each player gets 2 airports. One's very forward in the corner, and the other one's right behind the bases, where it's a little bit delayed getting to the front lines. The contested properties are basically a straight line down the middle, but you do have a 2 base versus 1 base scenario, 1 base and airport scenario. And in fact, red could actually, or either, this airport is actually quite contested. I mean, you could take a T-copter from over here to get over there, or you can get a T-copter from over here, but it's a little easier for the brown player to go down here with a T-copter, but you have to get here via T-copter or via this port. So it's a bit difficult to get that second airport, so it's a contested airport. You can't take it for granted. Likewise, these comm towers are contested in the middle slightly, although usually the weak side will capture them and put an artillery behind these mountains right here, and then you can never really recapture it. Same with these properties. There's these mountains blocking. These red would normally steam plow right through all these and retake these, but usually what you see on this sort of map is the weak side gets both these properties. They rush towards the front of the line, and then they get artilleries. Maybe you put an artillery here and block. So you have a mountain blocking here and a unit blocking here, and it locks down this property and locks down the comm tower from being retaken. So maybe this city over here might be retaken by red by the 2 base versus 1 base situation. But for the most part, very large map. And delayed comm tower in the back as well. You also need a T-copter back here. I wouldn't rush it. I mean, a black boat, you don't want to spend extra on that. You want a T-copter. So basically, a T-copter is a given on this map. You're going to need one for the back comm tower, and you're going to need one for the airport. So expect a lot of T-copter play. You have this black boat over here that can ferry infantry. Unfortunately for Drake, he gets 1+ movement for his naval units. This doesn't really matter in this scenario. This black boat's movement, extra movement, is not going to matter in the slightest over here. So, not really a big deal. But yeah, most of the battles are probably going to occur on the sides over here near these mountains. So it can have a little bit of a choky scenario with these mountains. Sometimes it can lead to some chokes and some stally games. Therefore, we're talking about a tier 3 matchup right here. And I want you guys to take a look at this map, seeing what I just reviewed about it, what I was talking about, and what do you think is the best CO on this map? It doesn't have to be one of the COs these guys picked. Other options include you have your Lash, you have Rachel, and then of course you have Andy and Drake. I'm probably forgetting one. I think Kindle is banned, so maybe I'm not forgetting one. But if you want to pause. Anyway, my opinion, I like Drake here. Why do I like Drake here? Let's talk about his weaknesses first. So there is 4 airports, which is not great for Drake. But one of the airports is kind of far behind the base over here, so it will probably reach the front line slightly later than this base over here. So you have that. This other airport is also contested, so you can actually deny your opponent the second airport, so maybe you don't have to worry about copter spam like you might be thinking, because they're saying, oh, 4 airports, so automatically everyone gets 2. Not entirely the case. So that's part's not good about Drake. Why do I like Drake here? Like I said earlier, it's a stally little area with these mountains. These mountains and forest and river in the middle kind of encourages a stally-esque game, which benefits Drake and it benefits Andy. And it's not very good for Rachel, and it's not very good for Lash. Why else do I like Drake here? The comm towers. Now, there's not 1 comm tower. There's 2 comm towers per side. And this is good for everyone but Andy. Why is that? Andy likes to heal his units, right? His superpower, he heals all his units 5 HP. Now, if you're doing more damage to his units, they have a higher likelihood to die. So he'll have less units to repair because more units are dying on the front lines. Therefore, the more comm towers there are, the worse Andy becomes. If there's no comm towers, Andy is king. I mean, you can't 2-hit KO his tanks and forests, for God's sake, without a comm tower. It's like a roll. It's I think a 33% roll. So less comm tower is good for Andy, more comm tower is bad for Andy. So normally,
If this was one com tower map, I would probably say equal Andy and Drake. Maybe I give the edge to Andy because of the 2 airports per side. But with 2 com towers per side, I lean Drake here. I wouldn't even give consideration for Lash and others here. It is kind of a 2 base versus 1 base kind of rush-ish kind of map, but it's so large and you got these choke points that it kind of can stall a bit. So not really thinking about the other COs. Anyway, these 2 players right here, they're both 1,000 level players in the global league. Pretty competent players. So I won't go too much into that. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin the game. So in the top, actually in the bottom, the orange stars, or actually the red stars. They should rename them the red stars. I'm going to die on that hill. You have Elo Lao Yin. I feel like I just had a stroke. Elo Lao Yin. Elo Lao Yin. And in the top in the Browns towns, you got Mercury Force. So I have the black boat over here. Infantry caps there and then goes here, plops right there, and they can get the port. Another thing about that port, it's very contested and honestly should be under the control of these 2 bases, but I guess you could get this port right here and build like a black boat or take a T-copter or something here, and then you just sit on there, and then you can't recapture because a black boat, you're going to need like an artillery to blast that. There's a mountain here, tanks can attack it, medium tanks can attack it, only artillery can attack it. So I kind of like going here, rushing that port, getting a black boat, getting the airport, then bringing the black boat back, and then you can just not capture it. So then you have the airport and the port of yours basically for the rest of the game. So that's one option. It seems like both of them are kind of angling for that by putting the black boat in the front lines. In fact, city skips in order to get this as early as possible. Interesting. We'll see if that works out for him. So moving a little forward, not going for the back airport. I mean, it's Drake for after all. He's probably going, I kind of like this little chain over here. Maybe that's just me, but he's going for the aggressive property. Honestly, maybe you go here, get this property, and then you lock it down later. Actually, I don't mind going down here and rushing those properties. Let's see if he goes for it. Not a bad move, actually. I usually don't love skipping caps very much in large maps like this, but we'll see if it has some merit. I think I actually would do this if I were him, just by the dynamics of this map, because you can lock this down later. He does not go for it. That's fine, though. I'm not going to hate him. I forgive him. Good old Mercury Force brings another unit up there. Now going for this property right there. Smart idea. In fact, you could probably just use this black boat over here rather than double here, then here, then here. Just go like here, here. Actually, it's still the same amount of time. Pretty good I said that. Well, this one takes longer. So use the black boat to get to this one. But Red is already looking to lock down these properties. I don't know about the early artillery, though. I guess the idea here is the early artillery is going to come over here and try to lock the port and prevent that infantry from getting a black boat there and like just kind of complicate the process for getting that airport afterward. He's going to get the port easily. There's no stopping the port, but the airport afterward could be a little bit annoying, or at least he could try to get a black boat, but then it's going to get blasted by the artillery. So we'll see how that goes for him. So far, so decent though for each side. And Mercury Force has not built a single vehicle yet. Stay 6. Okay. Could have easily built a tank. He must be saving up for something. I don't know what he's saving up for. A medium tank? I don't really recommend a day 7 medium tank. You'd have to base skip to build it. He's going to have 17,000. Medium tank plus 2 infantry is 18,000. So I would not advise that. But you never know in these nutty things. By the way, I forgot to mention this is a live league game or live queue game. So you get 5 minutes to start and you get 2-minute increment for every turn you take. So very limited time. As you can see, they only have about 12 minutes and 14 minutes banked, respectively. Gets the same idea over here, but the artillery is already in position. So the artillery has to decide, am I going to lock down this city or I'm going to lock down this port area over there? He has to decide. I'm going to bet he's going to lock down the city, probably move to this road right there. Then he locks down both of these pretty easily, whereas Red has it. So this is already an early advantage for Red if he's able to hold down this property over here, and meanwhile locking these 2 properties by going on this road right here. If he goes on the plain, the infantry can attack. So you kind of want to stay back a little bit and go on this road. And if Brown goes for this property, who cares? That is not holdable. That is not a contestable property for Brown. This is way too close to Red's base. This is what, like 3 tank turns from Brown, and it's 2 tank turns from both of these bases. Like, this is impossible to hold long term. This is a stretch. This is definitely holdable. But this is not holdable. So if Brown wants to go for it, good luck. Like, have fun. Yeah, instead, going for this infantry over there. So the infantry cannot really escape right now. I mean, he can go over here, but it would stop him from getting anything from the black boat. I'm assuming Red's going to get a black boat this Yeah, just as I said, as the game plan, I like this opening. Very interesting because red is getting this black boat, but brown has not been getting. If brown had been getting vehicles right here, he'd be able to put more pressure on red. But since there is no pressure, why not build a black boat? If you have no pressure, invest in boomy builds, invest in T-copters, invest in APCs, invest in, T-copters, APCs, black boats. Like, there's no real issue with that if you're not being attacked. If you are being attacked, you got to worry about tanks, you got to be worried about anti-air. But Mercury Air Force is being very passive with his aggression. He's built one tank on his weak side over here, and that's it. So I'm curious what he's going to do with that. Going for the double cap here, honestly, I think red had a missed opportunity to lock from the road. I feel like this is much less of a big deal. I guess he really wants to prevent a black boat here. I also don't really like this tank going here. It'd be better off going in the middle here. It still reaches the artillery in 3 turns. This is not going to quicken up the reach here, and it's also less flexible. So I like going in the middle a lot more than here. In fact, you don't even have to hit any forests. Oops. You're not even going to hit any forests. So I like this tank going in the middle better. But okay. It's going to get this comm tower next turn without any real pressure here. So both guys are going to get their comm towers without much pressure. I mean, brown could try to interrupt here, but he doesn't have enough units to support. He has a recon, a late recon. I like early recons, especially with this early black boat and this early artillery. I would have loved like a tank and artillery, or a tank and a recon build, really putting pressure. Sometimes I don't even think about a recon build until I see my opponent build an artillery. Then as a response to an artillery, I go hyper aggression on the other side of the map because that artillery cannot front shift over. Therefore, you can take advantage of their lack of vehicles and ability to front shift and really punish them on the other side of the map. So in response to this artillery over here, I would have loved seeing a recon and a tank much earlier, say a day 5 or 4 actually. What day do we know about this artillery? We know about this artillery on day 5. Mercury Force has 12,000 funds. That's perfect. 1 tank, 1 recon, 1 infantry. Tank, recon here, 1 infantry on the weak side. You are golden. I would have loved that here. You could have even pressured the comm tower. You could have denied the comm tower early. This was a huge opportunity cost lost by Mercury Force here. That would have been brutal. Red would have been caught with his pants down. Damn. Could have given him a wedgie, like 1990s wedgie style, like Nickelodeon shit. Anyway, he didn't do that. Instead, he got a late recon. So what is red going to do? He's probably just going to cap this comm tower with impunity, total impunity. Has some infantry to defend. Artillery is loving life. I mean, if you go here, it's going to be attacked. He can't really lock down this property. I mean, he could lock it down. He could move it up 1 space. This infantry could attack, and then he dies to 2 infantry. Actually, I don't hate that. If you move this infantry or this artillery right here on this plane, it's not terrible. This tank won't reach you anyway. Decides to sit there on the plane or on the shoal where he's still going to be attacked. So I don't really know why I didn't move. If you're worried about being attacked, you might as well just move up a space into better terrain that has 1 terrain star. But yeah, he gets attacked anyway. Would have been at 9 probably if you had it on the plane. So yeah, a little sussy. Anyway, still no distinct advantage for either side, really. I mean, red does have this early airport and the port over here, which I do like. Whoa. We have to address the elephant in the room. He had 29,000 funds? Man, this guy is saving up. Jesus Christ. Builds a battleship. Okay, so what does this battleship do? Well, it scares off that artillery. It's going to murder it. I don't think the artillery is going to do more than 2 damage to that battleship. That's still a lot of damage, though. An artillery was worth 6k, and a battleship is worth 28k. You do 2 damage to that. That's 5,600 in damages. So the artillery is basically paying for itself by doing 2 damage to a battleship. So it's not terrible. You will lose a unit count, but it's still not terrible. It stopped this infantry too, so that artillery did some work. But the thing about building a battleship, you have to double base skip for that. It's very immobile. Although, wait, you can do a base lock here. Oh, I see what he's going for here. You can put this battleship on the shoal right here, or this reef, and base lock. Oh, that's actually not so bad. Well, I'm hesitant towards early battleships for a few reasons. It's 28,000 funds. So there's an opportunity cost loss for this. You just spent 28,000. Red has tanks. He's about to have like 4 more tanks than you. 28,000, that's 4 tanks and funds. You're also losing 2 infantry for base skipping twice. Red, if I'm red, I ignore that battleship. I withdraw all my artillery. I withdraw all that crap, and I go crazy in the middle, and I go crazy on the side over here, and I just dominate elsewhere. That battleship can't do shit unless you give it shit to do. And then just build infantry from this base for the rest of the game. Sure, you're base locked, but just build infantry there. It's only going to do, what, 7 damage to an infantry, basically 700 funds a turn. How many turns is it going to take for that battleship to pay for itself? 40 turns? So this battleship, you can make it useless. You can make it the strongest unit in the game if you keep fighting into it, but you can make it useless. You give the value to these naval units. If you fight in their range, you'll make it worth it for them. But if you do not, you'll make that a complete money pit. So it's up to Red. Will they make it a money pit? Or is he going to make that the best battleship that ever lived? Let's find out. Ooh, Feisty going for the comm tower interrupt. I guess he could go in the silo here and try to double gangbang special it. He has 1 recon. I do like this recon over here. Somehow Red has no tanks over here. I guess it's because the backboat he invested so much money. I would have loved to see this on the silo so we could double interrupt next turn. 1 on the silo, 1 attacks from the road here, 1 attacks from the road here. Not a bad move. Now this one isn't even room to interrupt. I really don't know why he moved to the middle here. It didn't really make much sense. Much better in the silo. Interesting. Double base skip. All right. Attacks. I would have retreated. I mean, like I said, it does 5,600, but you're giving it value by letting it kill your artillery. Interesting. And wisely, Red just plops the backboat here, and Brown is never going to capture this unless he invests a lot into artillery or rockets or what have you. That thing is not getting dislodged. So it's doing pretty well. Battleship, yeah. Okay, so Red is smart here. I would have moved this tank a little bit more forward. I mean, if this tank attacks you, it's his weak side, and you have multiple tanks. There's no reason to hide in this forest. You can be balls out aggressive. If you have more vehicles than your opponent, even if you're on bad terrain, if you have numbers, and if you're within your base range, and if you're on your strong side, don't even worry about bad terrain. Just keep pumping out tanks and whatnot. He's got enough money for a tank and a copter if he so chooses. Probably, okay. So I get why you build a T-copter here, but you really have to have killer instinct when you're playing Advanced Wars. When your opponent goes for a boomy build, especially in Standard when you can see it with your own eyes, in Fog, maybe you don't know they're going for an APC and you have to play conservatively, you don't know about it. But in Standard play, if your opponent's going for a very boomy build, a very greedy build, you punish it. You want to spend more on tanks, more on recons, more on pressure, and getting those contested properties. But if you see a battleship here, you're like, I'm just going to get a T-copter, I'm going to get a blackboat, I'm going to get more greed for myself. Don't do that. Attack and kill your opponent. Your opponent is in a moment of vulnerability. When your opponent buys a T-copter, when they buy a blackboat, they're in a moment of vulnerability. They will have 1 to 2 less vehicles on the field than you do. So you pounce then. Later on, they're going to make up for it. The boomy build's going to come into play. That extra 2,000 a turn they got from it, it's going to come back to bite you. So you have that little window of opportunity. You strike then. That is when you need to strike. But he's doing the wimpy build. I know he wants the the comm tower. I get it. But right now, you need to start pumping out tanks and stuff. But does not have that killer instinct, unfortunately. So this artillery didn't even need to get killed by the battleship. Already, battleship in position. Recon gets a free hit over here. There's like literally no pressure. Oh my god, if this was on the silo, you could have prevented this again. Although this tank has nothing, so it really didn't matter in the end because this tank is well positioned. It's going to get a free hit because there's literally no vehicles for Brownstown over here. And by Brownstown, I mean Mercury Force. So, I also do not like this. This is your weak side as Brown. This is your weak side, and there is, 5 infantry right here? And you have, 4 max that can reach? Probably this one's not even going to reach, so it's like 3. And they have terrain advantage. It's not a... And they have a tank. Like, come on, man. Dracopter sighted? I don't know about that. I don't like Dracopters in Standard very much. I like them in Fog when he catches your opponent off guard because they're not building any anti-air. Because they're like, what kind of idiot builds a Dracopter that has 70% firepower? Me. I'm that idiot, by the way. But I like the element of surprise. In Standard, you very well be a little bit of an idiot for building such a weak copter. It says minus 20% attack here, but they nerfed him even further. Now it's minus 30% attack. So these copters hit like I can't even think of an analogy, like a wet, soggy newspaper. That's how they hit. a wet, soggy newspaper. Not even rolled up. Just... Anyway, he's going to get the comm tower first. Congratulations. I'm not sure that matters that much. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I mean, I guess this tank can interrupt next turn. But he can probably block with infantry and still get that guaranteed. Gonna kill off that infantry. Gonna kill off that infantry so damn easy. Honestly, you can go for this cap right here this turn. I'm surprised he didn't. I would have loved to see this infantry capture this property right there. This tank kill off that. Like, that's so easy. And nothing can stop it. This tank doesn't reach. That is a guaranteed cap right there. This infantry caps this property right here. This infantry kills the 7. This infantry kills the 8 HP. This infantry does not reach. That is guaranteed gone. That is one of the most contested properties on the map right there. There's no artillery to lock it down right now. It is ripe for the picking. He just wasted nearly 30,000 in funds on that black ship over here. This tank is completely out of position. This is the time to strike. I feel like Red's kind of bungling a little bit of these moments of opportunity. I think he's playing solidly, but his timings are off. He doesn't have the macro killer instinct that kind of gets you past the 1,000. It gets you to the 1,200s, the 1,300s. You need to have that killer instinct. You need to pounce when the time is right. When you get to the higher levels, timing matters too. Not just unit composition, not just positioning on the map, but timings as well, and adjusting your builds to your opponent's strategy. Right now, I don't think Red is adjusting at all. He's just like, whoa, yeah, sorry, I don't mean to make fun, but that's how I pronounce it. So a little bit of a Wimpkin move. Wow, 700 damage right there for the... I mean, if I'm Red, like I said, I'm just waiting this out. I'm just building infantry for this base the rest of the game. It's worth wasting that battleship's time. It's going to run out of fuel, too, or run out of ammo, so he has to build another black boat to, like, keep refueling it. So, interesting move. I would have just put an infantry here to block, but instead he's going for a recon sack. A little ambitious. There's literally no tanks here, and good, he makes that for he builds a tank. If I'm Red, I'm probably building a copter here and another tank here next turn, though. And I'm also interested, why is this anti-air over here? The copter is right there. Why is he building an anti-air from here and not here? I would have loved to see an anti-air here and a tank here. That just makes more sense to me. Interesting. But both players are playing a little rushed, maybe. Maybe they could be taking more time. They both have over 10 minutes time. Maybe that extra 1 to 2 minutes they could be making more optimal moves. It might be being a little rushed right here. But losing some infantry, losing some free infantry. Really, blue is kind of, or brown is losing some free infantry on the right side over there. Wants to play, should be playing a little more conservative. See that window of opportunity? Closed. Copter now there. Anti-air doesn't cover. Can't capture this property now. Free interrupt. Tank can interrupt. Window of opportunity slammed in his face. Slammed. Red's holding on these properties pretty well. We still have equal income. It's 20,000 per side. APC. Bro. It's like Red wants blue to get back in this. Or it's not blue, but wants Drake to get back. This is not that great of a black boat that's worth an APC, by the way. I wouldn't care if this black boat did its job. He got the property over here. Probably should have gotten this property over here, maybe. I'm not sure, but it did its job. He got everything here. You don't need to keep that black boat alive. It's kind of dead weight at this point. Not worth 5 more K. You need to strike Ilolin. You need to strike Ilolin. I'm trying to conjure that into Ilolin, but I don't think he'll be able to hear me after this game is already concluded, which it has. But okay, going for some fights over here. Doesn't have the comm tower here, so not yet guaranteed 2-hit KOs on cities. You need 20% firepower for guaranteed 2-hit KOs on cities of the same unit. So 2 infantry kill an infantry on a city guaranteed. With only 1 comm tower, it's a 33% chance, so it's a third of a chance. 2 comm towers guaranteed. Very useful calculation to know. All the experts know this. Red's pushing over here. I don't think you can realistically take this comm tower right now. It's just too easy to block from the mountains for these other infantry, but he's got more vehicles. I mean, he's got a copter and a tank versus 2 tanks and an anti-air. It's going to be outnumbered. Battleship is wasting its time over here, basically. Although the battleship is also protecting this property near the port, whereas Mercury Force does have this property. So the battleship's actually doing some work on the sides over here. It's gotten all 3 of these properties, whereas Brown has 2 of these 3 properties, surprisingly enough, because of this battleship. So it's actually doing a little bit more work. Not bad, not bad. All it takes though is like a copter. Send a copter over here. How do you stop that? Are we gonna build a carrier? Gonna build a cruiser? How is brown going to stop a copter attacking from here? You can't attack with an anti-air. It's blocked by a river. That's a sitting duck. Cluckety cluck. Just saying. Copter front shift over here. That's a big problem for Mercury Force. Big problem. Does not have the comm tower. 33% chance. Here we go. Got it. Got the 33% chance and the follow-up attack. Not going to kill. It's on a mountain. Pretty good rolls, though, for Mercury Force. Especially important because this is Andy. If you don't kill that, that could be hyper upgraded. That's a really good roll for Mercury Force right there. Really? He's going for the greed. He's going for the 3 over here. And the greedy black boat. Both these players are playing so greedy. They're the opposite of Poland, man. Poland would be smashing with tanks. You'd have more tanks than infantry at this point in the game. But these guys, they're building transport copters, APCs, black boats. They're having the time of their lives. It's day 12. I would expect to see like 7 tanks apiece by now. Well, not 7, like maybe 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, actually they do have 4, 5, 6, but still, they could have had more. Copter attacking here. Hate this move. Literally hate this move. If you're going to do anything, like protect this battleship over there, do something, but you're sacking 9,000 to do 2,100 in damages? That's not worth it. You lose a unit and you do 2,100 and you lose 9,000. You lose 7,000 basically. Hate that move. Hate that move. Hate that move. Really don't like it. Hold it back. Maybe you bring in the medium tank and then you attack, so at least you can kill the anti-air. Now the anti-air is gonna kill it, and you're gonna have no revenge kill on the anti-air. It's gonna get away for free. At least have a revenge plan. There is no revenge plan. It's a dead copter. Hate that move. Hate that move really badly. I've been liking Mercury's style for this match so far. Really bold and creative, but some of his tactics are a bit shaky. I really don't like that. But, ooh, there you go. Good kill over here with the double comp tower. That's a nice hit. Bringing the infantry back. This is zoning, though. The copter over there is zoned out by this anti-air, so probably don't want to build a copter this turn. This actually is blocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't reach. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't reach unless he kills off this tank. Ooh. Good block, Ilalin. Nice block. Good tactic for Ilalin. Good tactic. This seems a little sketch. It's not reached, though. Okay. Okay, that's not bad, actually. It's a little, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone's happy. Okay, we're getting a little sketch territory. I mean, he's getting free infantry hits. Okay. It seems a little weird. He's really overextended, but this medium tank can't quite reach. I think Mercury Force is going to tech up again. He's got so much money. He's been teching up this, oh my god, entire game. All right, Ilalin is going to get this rocket. I think he wants to kill this battleship. Where's he going to put it, though? Is he going to put the rocket in this forest? It will die. Is he going to put it in the city? It won't reach because it has that little buffer zone. It can't attack there. Can't go in the city. Can't go in this forest. Shoal's going to get one shot. Can't reach on the... Where is it going to go? I feel like if you're going to kill this battleship, you need double artillery. One here, one here. You overwhelm it. It kills off one of your artillery. The other one does 3 to 4 damage. And then you can actually beat it. You need 2 artillery, though. 12,000. And then you can beat a 28,000 unit. Double artillery, not a bad idea. This rocket, though, 15,000. It's not going to work out for you. You're going to be outranged, outclassed, out everything. It's also Drake. It has increased firepower. You're asking for trouble. And making it double. Anyway, finally, Mercury Force getting that airport on the side over there. Oh, there you go. Wow, good tactic. Okay, Mercury Force found a good tactic. Good tactic. This is only possible with 2 comm towers, by the way. This would never happen with 1 comm tower. Nice tactic. Boomba baby. Kills off the copter. Now this is going to die, so you might as well heal up the other units. He needs tanks, though. He could build a Neo tank, but like, where's he going to put it? I feel like if I were him, I'd go triple tank right here. The medium tank's nice, but you need triple tanks. Like, you're so outnumbered in tanks. Like, Red has 6 tanks. Mercury has 3 tanks in the medium tank. Like, yeah, build triple tanks this turn, and then next turn tech up. You can tech up this turn, but you don't need to do it right now. There's no rush. I'd triple tank. Nice. Nice. I like what I'm seeing. I like it. Good job, Mercury. I dig it. I dig it, brother. Anyway, going for the really greed cooperating over here, but how do you stop it really? You know, it's just you're gonna die to that. Whatever you build here is gonna get blown away. I guess the rocket is an attempt to... Oh, you know what though? There's a clever tactic here. Red thinks he can stop this property next turn, right? It gets interrupted here. It's guaranteed 2-hit KO. Rocket attacks, infantry is at 6 HP or 5 HP, that's guaranteed kill. However, there's a tactic. Black Boat heals 1 HP. You capture in 1 turn. I wonder if Mercury Force is going to see that tactic with a Black Boat heal before capturing. A lot of people miss this. Black Boat heal before capture can be epic. Whoa. Funk. All right, so this anti-air is alive, but barely. And it's trapped. It is guaranteed dead now. At least it'll kill a 1 HP infantry. That's nice. Or weaken off that copter. Actually, yeah, weaken off the copter. Don't kill the infantry. Attacks the tank. Medium tank is in range, though, so that's a dead tank for sure. This is why you build double tanks here. This is why you build double tanks here. You're going to murder that little tank right there. You could even trap 2 of them. You could kill 1 of them and trap the other. Full HP infantry here. This tank goes here. This tank goes here. Oh, this one is trapped. Yeah, let's do that, brother. 1 goes here. 1 goes here. Yeah, you can trap the tank. I'd love to see that. I wonder if he's going to find the tactic. I'm curious if Mercury's going to find either tactic, one or the other. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, yeah, he found it. Good job. Good job. Oh, Typhoon. I think Mercury's a little desperate because he's down a lot of units. Look, he's ahead in income, 5K. But if you look at the stats, he is dying. He is dying from deaths. 20 to 10. Most of them are infantry. He's lost 15 infantry, whereas Alaolin has lost only 7, so he's lost double the infantry. However, this is going to be a brutal turn. He's going to murder that tank. He's going to weaken that tank, probably trap it. There's a lot of possibilities here. I don't hate the Typhoon, but I don't think you need it because you can kill off these tanks anyway. Like I said, you can trap them. I don't think you needed to do it this turn, but he's probably going to trap it regardless, right? Let's see. Oh, he doesn't even need to trap. Two comm towers, baby. 2 comm towers. 2 down to 2, down to 1. Finish you off with the 8th. Finish it off with the 8. Bang. Wow. Okay. Maybe this was the move. I like it. I like it. He's got some balls. Doesn't quite kill. Oh, you hate to see it. That's a hyper upgrade. It's going to go up to 6. It's going to cap next turn. At least that tank is dead. Now, if I am Brown, I would start considering, although he does need an anti-air. Yeah, he needs an anti-air. I was going to say maybe you start a tech up, but he needs an anti-air for this copter over there. So I'd probably go for an anti-air and 2 tanks. If I was him, I wouldn't combine. I would heal, although I guess he's probably going to die anyway, so it's not a bad move. Okay, that works. Tech up and anti-air. That works. I don't hate it. Actually, I don't hate it. I don't love medium tanks usually, but I don't hate it. Hyper upgrade. That did a lot of damage. And he wasn't able to heal off all the damage that Mercury Force did, but it's still quite a decent amount. Infantry trying to cap over here. I don't think that's going to work out for him. Going for these caps over here. I don't know if Brown can stop. Both the guys are surprisingly strong. Like, Red is kind of winning, cruising on his weak side over here. He has to be careful not to overextend. This is 2 bases after all. This is 2 bases. You can't go too crazy. This city might be a bit of a pipe dream. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to actually hold that, especially with this medium tank coming in. We'll see. We'll see. He's just killing Mercury Force on unit count, though. Just killing Mercury Force on unit count. Builds a Neo tank down here on the 2 base. Okay, Mercury Force probably has to respond with his own Neo tank. A bomber's not going to do. He's Drake. Kills it off. I mean, he's doing pretty well in the income, but he might lose this property. And he's going to lose this property, probably. So, ooh, is he going to lose the comm tower? He weird or not? Okay, he was able to stop that. Barely able to stop the comm tower. Barely. He needs more. He needs more units. He wants to tech up. You could build a Neo here, but he also needs more tanks over here. He's going to probably tech up to a Neo. Nope. Okay. Artillery. That's another way to address a Neo, though, is indirects. Artillery here. Lock down this comm tower. That's not a bad move either. I kind of like that, actually. I don't like this. Don't attack a T-copter. It's like a glorified blocker, basically, after it's done its job. Bring this back and hyper upgrade it later. Like, bring it back to full HP. There's no reason to let it die. I also do not like this move. Does this Neo tank reach? It does, but so does this this artillery. This rocket is zooming forward. Actually, it can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can reach over here in a turn. So that Neo tank has to be careful. That medium tank, rather. It looks like Red's going to get that comm tower. Unless Red has... yeah, I don't see you can stop this comm tower right now. It looks like it's a given comm tower. Not good. Although he will defend this property over here, Mercury Force will. A little overkill with the artillery, though. I don't know about that. Boonk. Kills off the artillery. But he lost the comm tower, lost this property. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. That's a dead infantry. We're just going to lose a lot of those guaranteed kills without getting that comm tower. So Alalin's going to have an extra comm tower. And he's going to get this property over here. It's going to be tied, but Mercury Force is not going to have a comm tower. So Alalin will be ahead. So Alalin is winning right now. I mean, Mercury Force does have this lock, which is nice, but now he's ahead 2K and a comm tower. Excuse me, I forgot about this property. He's ahead 2K and a comm tower. And whoa, this Neo tank is feisty. It doesn't even care. Does not even care about this artillery right there. Wow. Okay. Okay. And if you fight back into it, ooh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Okay. APC, what is with these APCs and transport units? I am not. I do not get that. I honestly do not get that. Interesting. We'll see. That copter is so wimpy. I mean, it has to run away because this is zoning. It's doing a great job zoning this anti-air is. So you have to be a little wary. Builds another copter. Starting the copter spam on the side. Okay. Like, remember what I said about the stalling? It's getting to stalling. You got these two properties. You're just going to put the artillery here. Excuse me. And then stall the rest of the game if you can. And just hold on to those contested properties. That is his dream. If he's able to stall right there. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's 3 copters here. That medium tank is going to get killed. Or at the very best for Mercury, it's going to be trapped and die a slow, painful death. Whoa, that's a big boy hit, though. 6 damage. Look at that swing. Boom. That's like, what, 13,000 damage? Whoa, is he going to attack that with the tanks? Oh, this boy's a bad boy. He's a bad, bad boy. He wants that Neo tank dead. He wants that Neo tank dead, and he got it. Wow. Okay. Oh, and the copter from behind. If the rocket attacks, the copter's going to spank him. Okay. Double artillery. Okay, he needs to regain these, and he has only 1 infantry. So if I'm red, I'm just killing that infantry, and then you basically defend all these pretty easily. I don't like this, though. I do not like this. If you're attacking over here, you don't attack everywhere in the map. You want to attack one place and defend in the other place. If you attack everywhere on the map, unless you're dominating your opponent, you're going to lose one of those. Because statistically, you can't dominate everywhere unless you're just winning. And they're not winning, they're even. So if you're stronger in one area, you're weaker in the other. And if you're beating an opponent, they're weaker in that area, so you're going to be stronger in the other area. So just saying, don't attack everywhere at once. He's attacking everywhere at once. He's going to pay the price. He's going to pay a big price for that. I guarantee this is going to be an ugly turn for Mercury Force. I mean, look at the damage, like 160,000 to 100,000. But I have a feeling by the end of this turn, Alalin's going to be ahead in unit value. Trust. Trust. Medium tank. Not looking good for that boyo. Not looking good for that medium tank. Not looking good for that medium tank. Hyper upgrade comes in. Everything that was damaged is now healed. Should come in to block for the rocket. Yep, that medium tank is 100% deado. Deado. There's 3 comm towers. Actually, he's letting it live. He's kind of like a sadist. He wants to let it live and suffer. Same with this tank. Man, this red is a sadist for sure. I like it, though. I like it. That's funny. Builds another Neo tank. And let's check the unit value. What do you know? What do you know? Red is ahead. Told ya. All right. This copter can't hit the rocket, so it might as well just kill off the base right here. Honestly, yeah, I mean, the rocket will hit you otherwise. So you got to be a little sneaky. Got to sneak around. See, if you're building copters, you're Drake, dude. Your copters stink. You have 3 copters on the board. Spend those on tech ups. Spend those on medium tanks. Spend those on neo tanks. Spend them on more tanks. But don't spam out copters as Drake. If you're going to do that, play as Andy. There's no reason to do that if you're playing as Drake. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Oh boy. Not looking great for Mercury Force. It looked pretty decent for him early on, but starting to look a little sussy. I mean, he's still in the game. They're equal on everything, pretty much. Unit value, unit count, pretty equal. Time even. Mercury's a bit farther behind, but that comm tower, man. 3 comm towers versus 1, that's pretty noticeable. Pretty noticeable indeed. And the brawls are just going to start to be uglier and uglier and snowball. Will Mercury be able to recapture this? Oh, smart move by Ilalin. Smart. I know Mercury is going to capture this next turn. Kills off the unit over there. Very bold. Okay. Very bold. He has no full HP units to capture it. So he's getting his infantry in position, I guess. Okay. Maybe he's hoping for Red to overextend over here. If Red overextends, he's winning. But if he overextends, he could pay the price. Builds another copter. Bro, you're Drake. You're Drake. Yo ho ho in a bottle of don't do that shit. Wow. Whoa. Also, this copter, he forgot to move it. He forgot to move this copter. That's not good. It's a free kill. Wow. That's unfortunate. Honestly, nah, I wouldn't sacrifice this. Forget I said that. Anyway, not a great... Okay, for here, though, yeah, okay. I would attack with the copter first if you're going to attack with a copter, because then you're just taking, damage back. Oh, he's doing another trap, isn't he? This boy's doing another trap. He cannot reach. This APC, I will say, Ilalin, I've been impressed by his trapping and his blocking. Very good job. I have tip of the hat. I'm liking that. I'm liking the blocking. Did not like the wimpy builds of transport units. That I don't like. Macro game looks shaky. Micro game, good tactics. If you get your macro game in shape, you're going to be easily a 1200, if not higher. So just keep that in mind. Hone your craft. A little too aggressive over here. This is really easy to break, probably. Although this tank can't. Oh, maybe it won't. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Okay. A little feisty over there. Okay. I mean, by doing that, he can. That's a kills a copter. Yeah. What am I talking about? That's a good move. Artillery. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get this comm tower back. I think he ran out of time. Was he able to even build? He wasn't even able to build everything, and he lost a copter here. This is looking ogre like Shrek, guys. I don't know if he can come back from this. And the copter's trapped. The sadist is back. Actually, he didn't even need to trap. He can just kill it. Why trap something you can kill? Yeah, is this over? Typhoon comes in. Desperation Typhoon. All right, is it enough? Okay, kills the copter. If he had 2 comm towers, he would have been able to kill this unit here. That's the sad part. Really sorely missing that comm tower. Tech's up. Hyper upgrade response. Damn, look at that heal. Healed 30,000 from that hyper upgrade. There you go. Wow. There you go. Oh my god, the Neo takes their position. Kill the anti-air, or sorry, the artillery. This battleship is not doing jack shit. The most damage it did was to that anti-air at the bottom over there. And other than that, it was only shooting infantry the entirety of the game. And something tells me it's not going to get any better hits later on in the game. If Red has not allowed any hits now, he's not going to allow any hits later. Yeah. Trying for another good old base rush. I don't think that's going to work out for you, bud. Although Red is a little overextended, maybe, but oh boy. That's... oh, this is going to be a massacre next turn. This is going to be a massacre. This is not even a position to punish. Oh my god. Look, Mercury's going to lose all of these units. I think he's just... I think he might have been given up. This is looking... Yeah. And the game ends. So, what did we learn here? Well, we learned that neither player really took advantage of the window of opportunity to punish the other opponent. They kind of just had a plan, never really adjusted that said plan, and went along with their lives. You know, sometimes stubbornness is good. Sometimes being rigid in your thoughts and your moral compass and your beliefs is a good thing, you know? Maybe I have a set belief in this. I only play Advance Wars for fun. Good for you. I have no qualms about that. But if you're looking to improve and you're flexible and you're open-minded, I recommend you adjust your game plan according to what your opponent does. And I feel like both of them kind of just, I was going to build a transport copter. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the APC. It's going to be funny. I'm going to do the battleship. Like, the battleship was funny, but I mean, it got these properties early, but what I didn't like was he was fighting. I mean, Red could have destroyed, honestly, that battleship buy, Red should have destroyed Mercury Force right there. From that, like, these should all be dead, basically. Like, if he wasn't building transport copters and black boats and stuff, these would all die. Red would have all three of these properties, all of these properties here. It could have been much, much worse for Mercury Force. Should be thanking his stars that Red was boomy and stuff. But copter death here was needless. I just felt like Red had better tactics, too. I mean, Mercury Force's tactics were just not on the same level. And that just kind of added up. That black boat sunk cost. It did work early. It got him the income lead. His high point was when he was at 25k to 20k. I mean, even at this point, right, I think things went downhill with that copter kill. And I think things just got worse. Like, he should not attack this tank. Oh, no, he should. Never mind. He did fine there. But this copter attack here, don't attack everywhere at once. Don't attack there, please. You lost a copter for free. The medium tank can't get a revenge kill. I think Mercury Force is doing fine here. Not ideal, but he's doing fine. Lost a copter for free. Infantry start going cap crazy over here, and you can't stop them. Just too many caps. You don't have enough units. Have to retreat. Cap, get them all. And that's how it is. That's murder, she wrote, you know. But, you know, pretty well played by both players. I like the creativity. It's very non-ordinary sort of map play. So many transports, battleships, need I say more? A rocket, like, very different. Anyway, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys were entertained. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.